Hey guys, Happy Dude here. So it's almost the end of the summer, so that means that I have this Audi S3 for a year now. Yeah, time flies and it only goes faster when you get older. So it's time to do my yearly review and talk about what went wrong with this car. Let's start with the paint job. I don't know how it's possible, but Audi found a way to make paint that is impervious to chips.
The Audi, meanwhile, was totally unmarked.
Why do the Germans put paint on in such a way that it doesn't then come off?
Because they are Germans and it is impossible to paint a car badly.
Yeah, it's very weird because all my BMWs had some damage here in the front. Meanwhile, all my Volkswagens and Audis are totally unmarked after a year. Except for this little nick right here on the door, but that's from my stupid friend. Unfortunately, Audi is not idiot proof. And weirdly, the brakes are also better than on my BMW M2, and this isn't even an RS3, it's just the S3 model, and the discs are smaller and don't have any holes in them like on my BMW M2. And still, these brakes brake better and they don't overheat. Also, something that went wrong in the BMW M2 were the indicators in the rear light. On a normal light that's fixed for $2 for just a light bulb, but unfortunately on modern cars everything is LED, it's a complete unit, and it costs about $750 to replace. So even though this Audi is older than the BMW, all the lights still work. Also, something that broke after just 6 months in the BMW M2 together with the rear lights was the entertainment system. The whole system just rebooted after 2 minutes every time. So that was a very expensive and time labor job to replace. The whole iDrive system had to be replaced. So I'm happy to report that after 1 year, the whole entertainment system in the Audi still works. And don't forget, this car is much older than the BMW M2. But now something that did go wrong in the Audi S3, the S-tronic automatic gearbox. So this is a dual clutch system, just like in the BMW M2, but in the BMW it was way smoother and faster. This is very slow and jerky, and at one time I was getting an error message on the dashboard while I was driving. The car told me to put the car in park. So that's a sensor that is under this center console. So the car was thinking that it was standing still, but in fact I was driving, so that had to be replaced. Luckily the car was under warranty, so it didn't cost me everything. But if you do need to change that, the whole center console needs to come off. It's just a simple sensor that is under here, so nothing is wrong with the gearbox itself. Also, something that doesn't work anymore if you get that error message is the cruise control and the launch control. So if you're planning on buying an Audi S3 and the idle is a bit rough and the acceleration is not super smooth and the owner tells you that it's just the spark plugs, don't believe that, because if it's just that, why wouldn't he change the spark plugs himself? Because then he can sell a car that works properly. But now it gets very interesting, because I went to the Audi dealer that is closest to me, told them about the problem, and they told me that I need to replace the timing chain in here or the camshafts or both, and that would cost between $5,000 and $7,000. So I searched YouTube, and the most common problem for misfires with the engine in the Audi S3 or Golf R, it's the same engine, is these two sensors here for the two camshafts. These adjust the timing. These are fairly common to fail between 80 and 120,000 kilometers. So I went to a different Audi dealer where the car came from. I didn't want to do that at first because it's very far away, but they listened to me and just replaced the sensors in the engine for free. And guess what? The problem was fixed. But my idle is still a bit rough, and I've been told that it's very common that the PCV valve, that's this right here, is also very common to fail around 100,000 kilometers. So I will need to replace this one also. Now the car is just out of warranty, but they still are going to pay for this fix. And here is the new PCV valve. So we are just going to install it. It only takes a few minutes. So if your car has a rough idle or a lot of oil consumption or the fuel economy isn't that great, just replace that PCV valve. It's very easy to do and it doesn't cost much. And here you can take a peep inside my engine, and I have to say it looks very healthy. That's very nice of Audi, isn't it? And I'm still going to replace these spark plugs along with the coils on top of them because, well, it's just time to do that now, along with a oil change. So it's time for the big maintenance. So that's something that didn't go wrong on my BMW M2, but it didn't had as much kilometers as this engine has, so that's not really fair. But I do think that the 6 cylinders of BMW are stronger and also way smoother to drive. But don't get fooled by this little 2-liter 4-cylinder, because just with a stage 1 tuning map, this car can produce just as much horsepower as my BMW M2. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I'm going back home and enjoy the last days of the summer. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and you all have a nice day now. Bye!